Sometimes you go a bridge too far. You end up overcommitted. Need outside influence to get home. This is not one of those times. Goodbye. So what are you going to do with this vehicle next week? All right, let's cut back to the beginning.
You said let it cool down, so I'm trying to let it cool down.
Just be patient.
Riding along with my friend Harry Wagner, we meet up with Amber Turner at the Mount Rose summit, replace an upper radiator hose clamp on the 22RE Turbo of his 1987 Toyota named Junior Mint, before heading on to the Rubicon Trail. If you want to know more about this truck and why the bed looks not quite right, Richard from Death to Glory did a full walk around with it last spring. You can check that out on his YouTube channel.
And it doesn't have a diff drop, so it eats.
In this video, you're just going to get to see it in action. While I'm no stranger to airing up after dark, here we're airing down after dark. And we're committing to the Rubicon Trail now, running it backwards, from Tahoe to Loon Lake. Though tonight, our destination is Rubicon Springs, at the bottom of Cadillac Hill. Oh, this is pretty gnar.
Yeah.
This will give me pause in the Forerunner.
Let's see if I don't know that I chose a great line, but I guess we'll see.
What's the worst that could happen?
Oh boy.
Whoa! That was like a 12-foot drop straight down.
Dang. So gears are the greatest thing ever.
I know. So we're in, what are we in, like double low?
Yeah, we're in double low now. So nothing really sneaks up on you, nothing happens too fast. You don't have to use momentum or spin the tires. And, you know, obviously you don't want to do the whole trail like this. It could take you a month. But
So do you have your foot on the gas?
nope, I don't have my foot on
Nope.
any of the pedals. I'm just kind of steering.
It's like an automatic.
Yeah, I'm starting to get into the good stuff. Oh.
There's a big rock over there.
On your side?
There's that, yeah, I mean down there.
Oh, down there.
Oh, there's also the one right by the door.
Okay. Try and keep the door off a bit.
You're driving. I'm shooting. And there's that giant one in the middle right there. We're about to go over.
I'm going to try and put the passenger tire on that one. I think I was successful.
I think you did it. You didn't hit a single thing.
Alright.
Of course, it ain't over yet.
No, we're just kind of getting started.
How much more four-wheeling is there? It's not like this the whole way, is it?
All of it.
I think the Cadillac's like right there if you want to look for it. Or the Buick or whatever they say it is.
Pretty dark.
Yeah.
Amber had a small electrical issue on the way down Cadillac and was able to repair it with a little electrical connector kit that Harry had in his toolbox.
Yeah, you like that? Not too bad.
We soon made it all the way down Cadillac Hill to Rubicon Springs, where we had to ford the beaver pond to access our camp for the night. I did grip on my phone now. The morning brought more mechanicals. Amber's clutch pedal linkage broke, and we stopped to try to fix it. She came prepared with a lot of spare parts and tools. Harry had a lot more tools as well. Amber tried a number of tools and tricks to try to get it working, but in the end, had to push on with no clutch at all. Harry has painted his truck a replica of Forest Service green, then patterned his logo on the emblem of the USDI Forest Service, a federal agency charged with maintaining public lands for the benefit of recreational and resource viability for all Americans. For some reason, the hardcore four-wheelers get a deer-in-the-headlights look when the truck rolls up and grit-back invective behind line-tight lips. With a couple 100 million people to think about, a simple truck can't please everyone. After all, it's not a cupcake.
That case in low, which is 4.7 to 1, if we put the front case in low, just gives us a ton of control. You know, you're not slipping any tires at all. Nothing sneaks up on you. You don't have to use momentum or anything. And it's one of those things you don't need it all the time, but it sure comes in handy on the technical obstacles.
Yeah.
So that spot we just did actually got me in trouble last year. I stayed all the way left, and when you crest the hill, you can't really see the line in front of you, so I thought I was going to straddle this crack, and I ended up, the driver's side just fell in the crack, and I kept going and couldn't recover. My friends had to winch me backwards. So now I stayed right, but only because I know you have to stay right. I can't see off of that corner of the truck, so I knew it was safe, but I just had to keep telling myself that and go off faith.
If people watching this video notice anything strange about your driving patterns down there, can you tell them what's going on?
Oh, I don't have a clutch right now.
So if I want to change gears, I have to stop and change the gear and then restart it and keep going. So like forward, stop by a rock, turn it off, reverse, turn it back on, reverse gear. So yeah,
That's not ideal.
but
Yeah.
it still does it.
Right. Cool. Well, it's cool that you're adaptable and can get by. So what are you going to do with this vehicle next month, this year?
Next year?
What's your next... You're going to race this vehicle, right?
Yeah, it's doing King of the Hammers next year.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
I think it's going to be awesome.
I'm really excited. World's hardest one-day off-road race. I've done all the West Coast hardest trails. So what could go wrong?
Exactly. There are many sections and obstacles on the Rubicon Trail with names like Cadillac Hill, the Soup Bowl, Big Sluice, Little Sluice, that are notoriously challenging for even advanced rigs like these. But if, like me, you thought that the transit between these challenges was going to be a cakewalk, you couldn't be more wrong. The unnamed obstacles on the Rubicon Trail are just as challenging as the named. Here you can see an example of the control of having double low-range gearing that Harry talks about as he creeps slowly up on another unnamed obstacle that takes a couple of tries to get through.
So Amber just stacked some rocks for me, and which was nice, payback. And I was just thinking how hard it would be to drive this without a clutch. I just went back and forth like 4 times in a row, trying to line up and trying to get on the right line. And she's doing this where she has to shut the engine off and put it in a different gear every time. I can't imagine.
This section of the trail is known as Big Sluice, and here we come to a challenge that involves a tight spot between a rock and a hard place. right, we are here at Buck Island Lake on the Rubicon Trail, and we came in from that direction from Lake Tahoe, and we're gonna go out that direction to, I think, Ice House Lake is what it's called. I've never been that way. I've never been this way except for today. All the way in, it's a rough trail. It is a rough trail. I know Steve said on the Facebook group that it's been sanitized, and that may be true to some standards, but it was still a challenge for Harry's truck in spots and for the Samurai in some spots. So it is definitely not an easy trail. It's definitely more than the 4Runner can do, probably. Although we did see a 4Runner down here, but it was pretty extremely modified. Big topic of conversation with me and Harry on the way in was, will the Power Wagon make it? And we don't know. I guess John really wants to find out, and maybe he will next year find out. I think Harry said the thing to do would be to start over there at that end and come to here to Buck Island Lake, because that's less tight and squeezy. We certainly did come through some squeezy tight spots over there, but that may be better. Who knows? Anyway, hopefully Amber has fixed her clutch, and we're going to head out. Even if she hasn't fixed her clutch, we're going to head out and go out that way. Original plan was to go out that way, but now we're going to go out that way, which is fine. Fun. Good to go? Yeehaw! Well, we're back underway. Amber had a broken leaf spring and then broken hub bolts. So she's running in two-wheel drive right now, and just did some pretty gnarly stuff in two-wheel drive. So the hardest part of the trail is behind us, and the less hardest part, although still potentially pretty hard, is ahead of us. We're gonna keep going. It's 3:30, 3:40, 3:40. It's 3:40. It was 3:30 10 minutes ago. We're gonna keep driving and get out of here, and hopefully she'll find a way to get home. She still doesn't have a clutch. Problema. So Amber's basically in two-wheel drive due to the broken front hub. So Harry's gonna go first here and attach a tow strap to the Suzuki and hopefully crawl at a very low and safe speed up this little box here. I don't know what it's called. What is this called, Harry? Does this have a name?
We're at the bottom of Old Sluice.
Okay. We're at the bottom of Old Sluice. That bright, streaky light you can see through the trees is the late October sun getting low in the sky, though we're still a couple hours from the end of the trail. And with that, I put away the good camera so we can make some time. And this seems like the appropriate place for a montage. So we're at Little Sluice in that hole behind me. We're on the bypass to Little Sluice. Decided to do the bypass given our current time of day and current state of repair. So Little Sluice doesn't look that bad from 20 feet above. So, but it's definitely rocky, and there's definitely only one line going through it. So Still thinking about John and the power wagon making it through there, and I just don't know. But we're gonna, sun's going down behind me there, you can see, and we're just gonna keep motoring on out of here. The best parts of any adventure are the moments never caught on camera, that are hard or impossible to relate afterwards. This time that included a moment where I thought the truck was going to roll, with the samurai tethered above us, and Harry seemed momentarily concerned, causing my concern to grow noticeably. Another time, Amber did an epic one-wheel pirouette in the Samurai just after I stopped recording video, again causing me to express alarm audibly. And Harry made a truly epic milkshake joke. I guess you just really had to be there. I want to make sure I give Amber due credit in this video. She's a terrific driver and did an amazing job getting that little Samurai down the trail with no clutch. Her mechanicals can be chalked up to a hard summer of wheeling and competing in it, and she is fully prepared and capable of fixing all her own gear. This kind of thing happens to all of us eventually. Even the junior mint's number came up the next time Harry took it out. With that, the sun is fully down, and we're rolling out the last mile of dirt to the paved roads. All we had to do was repair one more broken leaf spring with a hose clamp and Gorilla Tape, then spend an incredibly windy night waiting for Amber's ramp truck to arrive. And the adventure was behind us. Thanks for watching again. Be sure to look for Amber and Harry on Instagram and follow their adventures. Crossing the Rubicon is an act of commitment. When you start down that road, it's do or die, more or less, and you commit to getting yourself and your companions out, one way or another. Sometimes that's more dramatic than others, but it's always an adventure, and I was stoked to get the chance to tag along. Happy trails.